I'm Dominic Delsano, Sales Director at Baghouses.com. Welcome to our series, Baghouse 101. So today we're going to talk about the different kinds of dust collectors that are available and what each one is used for. So we can classify dust collectors imagining a branching umbrella organization tree. So the first branch that we have are mechanical dust collectors. So these are things like cyclones, knockout boxes, other physical devices that physically remove the dust from the air without using any kind of filters. So these are often used as pre-filters, or they're used on applications where we're really just trying to get rid of the majority of the dust. But they're not efficient enough to use as the only method of dust collection in just about every case. Then we have specialty dust collectors, which are things like wet dust collectors, electrostatic precipitators, scrubbers, and these are used in very special applications, very extremely explosive or corrosive materials, or at some large power plants. Now, the majority of dust collectors that we discuss and that we see across all industries are what we call fabric filter dust collectors. So these are things like your Baghouses and your cartridge collectors. Now, under that branch, we have the most common style that are called Baghouses. They're called Baghouses because the shape of the filters are filter bags. Now there are also things that are called panel filters, envelope filters. These are just different shapes of filters that are used in other kinds of Baghouses. But here in North America, the most common style is a bag-shaped filter. Within Baghouses, you have several different types of Baghouses, depending on the type of cleaning system they use. So the oldest style is a shaker dust collector, where the bags are physically shaken to remove the dust. These are really only legacy units because this form of cleaning is very inefficient and it requires that you shut down the airflow for it to work. Now the second kind is what's called a reverse air baghouse. In this type of dust collector, the air flow to a compartment is stopped and another reverse air fan blows air back in to clean the filters off. This kind of baghouse is really only effective when it's very large with multiple compartments. So you see it only on large applications like power plants, cement kilns, or steel mills. Now the third type is the most common, and that's the pulse jet baghouse. In a pulse jet baghouse, the filters are cleaned with compressed air while the baghouse is running. So you don't need to interrupt the airflow, you don't need to shut down the baghouse in order to clean it. Because of this, it's by far the most widely used, and we see it across all different kinds of industries, from very small little bin vent collectors up until large utility-sized baghouses. Now, a slight variation that we have is what's called a medium pressure reverse air baghouse. Sometimes they're called rotating arm baghouses, and these are large cylindrical units that have a rotating arm that blows air back in at medium pressure, 8 to 10 psi, but in function it works very much like a pulse jet baghouse. These kinds of collectors are only used in certain industries such as wood or sand or grains and food products. They're not quite as powerful cleaning as the pulse jet baghouse, so we don't use them as much. Now a variation of the pulse jet style that's very widely used is the cartridge collector. Cartridge collector is essentially a pulse jet baghouse but uses cartridges instead of bag filters. Everything else is essentially the same, and these kinds of collectors are very effective in certain applications because they can pack in more filter area into a much smaller space. So when you have a lot of airflow but lighter dust loads, these can be very cost effective. And for that reason, they're widely used across a lot of industries. So in summary, we have many different kinds of dust collection systems available. Some older, some more specialized, the most common being the pulse jet baghouse. Regardless, whatever your need might be, here at Baghouses.com, we are a full service provider of all different kinds of dust collection systems, and whatever your need is, we have the right system for you.